Hi, welcome to our channel. This is Vera, and today we're going to show you how to sew wide leg pants. We hope you like them. For these pants, we decided to use the same main fabric for all of the pieces. If your fabric is very lightweight or a little sheer, you can use lining fabric for the pocket bags. In our case, we've decided to use the same main fabric for all of the pieces. We'll also need a piece of fusible interfacing for the waistband to give it a little more stability. The pattern has 6 pieces: the front leg, back leg, pocket facing, front pocket bag, back pocket bag, and waistband. Before you start cutting, make sure you know which is the right side and which is the wrong side of your fabric, and always follow the grain line marked on the pattern. You'll also notice that several pieces need to be cut as mirror pairs. If you're cutting them one at a time, it's really simple. Cut the first piece with the pattern facing up, then flip the pattern piece over to cut the second one. This will give you the correct right and left sides of the pants. As you cut each piece, and before removing the pattern, make a small snip at each notch. These don't need to be deep, just a tiny snip within the seam allowance is enough. They'll be really helpful as reference points later on, especially when we start putting the pockets together. And once everything is cut and organized, we're ready to start sewing. The first thing we're going to do is serge the side edges of all 4 leg pieces, both fronts and both backs. This will keep the fabric from fraying while we work and give us nice, clean edges. If you don't have a serger or overlocker, don't worry. You can do the same thing with a zigzag stitch on a regular sewing machine. Just stitch close to the raw edge and you're good to go. we're going to prepare the front pocket bags. We're going to grab the two front pocket bags and we're going to serge or overlock just the outer edge. We're going to do the same thing on both pieces. Again, if you don't have a serger, don't worry, you can use the zigzag stitch of your domestic machine. Once we have this, we're going to attach the pocket bag to the front. Take one of the front pocket bags and place it on its corresponding front pant piece, right sides together. Here we're going to use the two notches we marked earlier because we only want to sew between these 2 points. We're going to start with a few back stitches and sew until we reach the second notch, and back stitch again to secure the end of the seam. Make sure you leave the sections above and below the notches unsewn. And once we've finished one side, we repeat the exact same process on the outer front piece. To finish this part, we're going to understitch the pocket, so we open the pocket bag out. We're going to work from the right side of the fabric. So we stitch very closely to the seam which is made, sewing the seam allowance to the pocket bag. It's a small detail, but it really helps the pocket stay tucked towards the inside and gives the opening a much cleaner finish. Again, sew only from notch to notch, back stitching at the beginning and end. And repeat on the other pocket. To finish the pockets, we have to finish the pocket facings. We're going to serge the outer edge of each pocket facing. You'll notice here that I actually forgot to do this at this specific point. So in the video you'll see me serging the facing after it's already been attached. It's totally fine, but ideally you want to do it now before joining the pieces together. As always, if you don't have a serger, you can use the zigzag stitch instead. Now that we have the pocket facings, we're going to attach them to their pocket bags. We place each pocket facing on its corresponding back pocket bag, right sides together. Line up the edges and sew with 1 cm seam allowance. Remember to back stitch at the beginning and end. Repeat the exact same process on the other side. Then serge the seam and give it a quick press so everything lies nice and flat. Repeat the exact same process on the other side. To finish the pocket, we're going to place the pocket piece we just prepared over the front pocket bag, right sides together. We're going to carefully match the entire outer edge. Once everything is lined up, we're going to sew around the edge with a 1 cm seam allowance. And we serge or overlock the seam and repeat the same process on the other pocket. Now we're going to join the front and back so that the pants start taking shape. We're going to place each front leg on its corresponding back leg, right sides together. First, we sew the outer side seam from the waist all the way down to the hem using a 1.25 cm seam allowance. And then we're going to sew the inseam using a 1 cm seam allowance. Make sure to backstitch at the beginning and end of each seam and repeat the whole process for the other leg. And before we keep going, we want to press the seams. At this point, we have two separate band legs, and now we're going to join them together. Turn one leg right side out and slide it inside the other leg. This will place the two legs right sides together. Carefully match the center front, the center back, and most importantly, the inseams. And once everything is nicely aligned, pin it in place and sew the entire crotch seam, from the center front all the way around to the center back, using a 1 cm seam allowance. And then overlock the entire seam. And if you don't have a serger, you know the drill. A zigzag stitch will work just fine. Now we're going to put this aside and we're going to move to the waistband. Cut your fusible into facing using the waistband pattern piece as your guide and place it on the wrong side of the fabric. To fuse it in place, follow the instructions for your particular interfacing since they can vary a little. Once you're done, let it cool for a moment before moving on. To close the waistband, we're gonna fold it so that the short ends meet, right sides together. Line up the edges and sew with a 1 cm seam allowance, backstitching at the beginning and end. When you open it up, you'll have your waistband joined into a loop. Before attaching the waistband to the pants, we need to figure out how much elastic we'll need. Since these are low-rise pants, we're not going to measure around the natural waist. Instead, measure around your body exactly where you want the waistband of the pants to sit. From that measurement, subtract a few centimeters so the elastic can do its job and comfortably hold the pants in place. How much you subtract will depend on how stretchy and firm your elastic is. In our example, our measurement was 74 centimeters, and we decided to subtract 4 based on the elasticity of our elastic. Then we added 2 centimeters to each end of the elastic so that we had enough to join the elastic. This brought the total measurement back to 74 centimeters. Now that we have the loop of our waistband, we're going to place it on the pants, right sides together, matching the raw edges. And we pin everything in place, making sure the 4 main points line up: the center front, center back, and both side seams. And once everything is evenly distributed, we're going to sew all the way around with a straight stitch and a 1 centimeter seam allowance. once we have this, we're going to press the seam allowance up towards the waistband. To finish the waistband, we're going to fold the seam allowance along the top edge of the waistband towards the inside. Then we're going to fold the entire waistband in half towards the inside of the pants, bringing that folded edge down so it covers the seam we just sewed. Pin everything carefully around the entire waistband to keep it in place. And working now from the right side of the pants, we're going to stitch directly along the waistband seam line. We do this because this will keep the stitch almost invisible from the outside. But we're not going to sew all the way around just yet. We're going to leave an opening of about 10 centimeters so that we can insert the elastic. And to fit the elastic through the waistband, you can use a safety pin. Attach this safety pin to one end of the elastic and fit it through the opening we left in the waistband. Work your way around little by little, moving the fabric along the elastic as you go. And one important thing is to secure the other end of the elastic with a pin, or at least keep a close eye on it. We definitely don't want it disappearing inside the waistband and having to start all over again. And you keep pushing the elastic through the waistband until the safety pin comes back out through the opening. And once you have both ends out, check that the elastic is completely flat inside the waistband and hasn't twisted anywhere. Overlap the two ends by 2 centimeters and sew them together in a square. Then sew 2 diagonals across the middle. This will give you a nice, strong joint that can handle the tension of the elastic. And lastly, to finish the waistband, we have to close the waistband opening. Tuck the elastic completely inside the waistband and gently distribute the gathers around the pants so that they're nice and even. Now all that's left to do is to close the 10 cm opening we left earlier. Working from the right side again, stitch along the same seam line so the new stitching blends in as much as possible. And remember to backstitch at the beginning and end. And the last thing to do is to finish the hems. First, serge the raw edge at the bottom of both legs. If you do not have a serger, you can finish the edges with a zigzag stitch instead. Then turn the hem up by 2 to 3 centimeters, depending on the finished length you want for your pants. We recommend here pressing the fold first because it makes the hem much easier to sew. You can pin it in place, then sew all the way around with a straight stitch, trying to keep an even distance from the edge. Remember to backstitch at the beginning and the end. And lastly, we're going to give the pants one last press. Cover the waistband, pockets, side seams, and hems to make sure everything sits nicely. And here is the final result. We really hope you enjoyed following along with this tutorial and found it helpful. If you did, don't forget to leave us a comment and show us your version of the project. See you for your next project.